In today's world, having many interests is often seen as a blessing. You are curious, open-minded, creative, and eager to explore different paths. You might enjoy art, technology, psychology, business, writing, teaching, or even all of them at the same time. Yet, when it comes to choosing a career, this blessing can quickly turn into a source of confusion and anxiety. You may find yourself asking questions like, what if I choose the wrong career? What if I give up one passion and regret it for the rest of my life? Why do other people seem so sure about what they want, while I feel torn in so many directions? If you have many interests, you are not lost, broken, or indecisive. You are simply facing a different kind of challenge. This video will help you understand why choosing a career feels so difficult when you have multiple passions, and more importantly, how to make a wise, realistic, and fulfilling career choice without betraying who you are. 1. Understanding why having many interests feels overwhelming. The traditional idea of career choice often assumes one thing, that each person has one true calling. From a young age, we are asked questions like, what do you want to be when you grow up? As if the answer should be simple and permanent. But for people with many interests, this idea does not fit. You don't just like one thing. You enjoy learning new skills. You get excited by different fields. When you discover something new, it feels meaningful and important. Over time, these interests pile up, and choosing only one feels like closing the door on many other possible lives. The fear is not just about choosing a job, it is about choosing an identity. You are afraid that by choosing one path, you will lose other parts of yourself. This emotional weight makes career decisions feel much heavier than they actually are. Understanding this is the first step. Your difficulty does not come from weakness, but from richness. 2. Let go of the myth of one perfect career. One of the biggest traps people fall into is the belief that there is one perfect career that will satisfy all their interests forever. In reality, very few people spend their entire lives doing only one thing. Careers evolve, people change, industries change, new opportunities appear. Choosing a career does not mean signing a lifelong contract. It means choosing the next chapter, not the whole book. When you accept that careers are flexible and dynamic, the pressure to make the perfect decision immediately becomes much lighter. Instead of asking, what is the one career I should do for the rest of my life, ask, what is the best direction for me right now, given who I am and where I am? This shift in mindset alone can reduce a huge amount of anxiety. 3. Separate interests from careers. One of the most important lessons for people with many interests is this: not every interest needs to become a career. An interest is something that excites your curiosity. A career is something you can do consistently, skillfully, and sustainably, often under pressure and responsibility. You may love music but not enjoy teaching music 8 hours a day. You may enjoy psychology but not want to work in a clinical environment. You may love writing, but dislike writing on deadlines. When choosing a career, it is helpful to ask, do I enjoy this activity even when it becomes difficult or boring? Can I imagine doing this on a bad day, not just on a good one? Am I willing to improve my skills in this area for years? Some interests are better kept as hobbies. Others can become side projects. Only a few should become your main professional focus. This does not mean you are giving up your interests. It means you are protecting them from burnout. 4. Identify your core skills, not just your passions. Passions can change. Skills, once built, tend to stay with you. Instead of listing everything you like, try to identify, what am I naturally good at? What skills do people often compliment me on? What activities make me feel capable and confident? For example, are you good at explaining complex ideas simply? Do you enjoy organizing, planning, and structuring? Are you strong at analyzing problems and finding solutions? Do you connect easily with people and understand their emotions? Many careers are built on skill combinations, not single interests. Someone who loves technology and communication might work in product management. Someone interested in psychology and business might go into marketing or human resources.
Someone who enjoys art and logic might become a designer. When you focus on skills, you begin to see how multiple interests can converge rather than compete. 5. Look for overlapping areas between your interests. Instead of forcing yourself to choose one interest and abandon the rest, look for overlapping areas. Ask yourself, where do my interests intersect? Is there a role that allows me to use more than one passion? Can I combine creativity with structure or logic with empathy? For example, writing plus psychology equals content writing, storytelling, coaching. Technology plus education equals e-learning, instructional design. Business plus creativity equals branding, marketing, or entrepreneurship. Modern careers are more flexible than ever. Many roles didn't even exist 10 years ago. Your job is not to fit into an old box, but to find or build a role that fits your unique mix.
6. Understand the difference between curiosity and commitment. People with many interests are often highly curious. Curiosity is a wonderful trait, but it is not the same as commitment. Curiosity asks, what is this like? Commitment asks, am I willing to stay when it gets hard? When choosing a career, you must eventually choose commitment over endless exploration. This does not mean you stop being curious. It means you choose one main direction to invest your time and energy in, while allowing curiosity to exist on the side. A useful question is, which interest am I willing to struggle with? Every career has boring parts, frustrating moments, and slow progress. The right career is not the one without problems, but the one whose problems you are willing to face. Regret is unavoidable. The goal is not to eliminate regret, but to choose the regret you can live with. Would you rather regret not exploring every interest or regret never committing to anything? Growth requires sacrifice. Understanding this makes decision-making more honest and mature. 7. Accept that you will always be giving up something. No matter what you choose, you will lose something. If you choose career A, you give up career B, C, and D. If you don't choose anything, you give up progress, stability, and growth. Regret is unavoidable. The goal is not to eliminate regret, but to choose the regret you can live with. Would you rather regret not exploring every interest or regret never committing to anything? Growth requires sacrifice. Understanding this makes decision-making more honest and mature. 8. Use experiments instead of permanent decisions. You do not need to decide everything through thinking alone. Action brings clarity. Instead of asking yourself endlessly which career is right, try small experiments. Take a short course. Do an internship. Freelance part-time. Volunteer. Start a small project. Real experience will teach you more in 1 month than imagination will in 1 year. Often what we think we love feels very different when we actually do it. Experiments turn fear into information. 9. Redefine success on your own terms. Many people feel pressured to choose careers based on money, status, or social approval. When you have many interests, this pressure becomes even stronger because people around you may not understand your complexity. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want, not just what job? Do I value flexibility, stability, creativity, or impact? How important is money compared to meaning for me? There is no universal definition of success. A good career is one that supports the life you want to live. 11. Build a portfolio life. For people with many interests, the idea of a single fixed career may not be realistic or necessary. Some people thrive with a portfolio life, where they have one main job for stability, maintain side projects for creativity, explore hobbies for personal fulfillment. Your job does not need to fulfill every part of you. It needs to support you, not consume you.
When you stop expecting one career to meet all your needs, choosing becomes easier. 12. Trust that you can change direction later. At some point, thinking must turn into action. Waiting for absolute certainty will keep you stuck. Choose a direction that aligns reasonably well with your skills, matches your current values, offers room to grow. Then commit to it for a meaningful period of time. Clarity comes from movement, not from standing still. Conclusion: your many interests are not a problem. Having many interests does not mean you lack focus. It means you have depth, curiosity, and potential. The goal is not to reduce yourself to one label, but to choose a direction that allows you to grow while staying true to yourself. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to take the next honest step. Your life is not a single choice. It is a series of choices, adjustments, and discoveries. And the ability to explore, adapt, and evolve may be your greatest strength of all.